Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Marketing Livestock Question and Answer. I'm Bridger Fates, Livestock Marketing Specialist with University of Wyoming Extension. Remember, you can send in your questions to my email, which I will have at the end of this presentation, or you can include them in the comments below on this YouTube video. With that, let's get started with today's question. So today's question is, should I precondition my calves? Many producers want to know this. They want to know if that pays off, if it's worth the effort. Let's take a look at some factors that might influence that and ultimately show you a tool to help you make that decision for your own ranch. So let's think about some of those assumptions associated with preconditioning those calves. So let's look at that 45-day precondition program. We'll assume that we're currently weaning 500-pound calves. Well, balling calves shrink about 5%, so your actual cell weight would be around 475 pounds. Preconditioned calves shrink is only about 1.5%. Balling calves have a little higher shrink, or quite a bit higher shrink, because of the stress involved with that immediate weaning procedure, whereas your weaned calves handle that a little better. So if you look at how much those preconditioned calves would gain, we estimate that at 1.5 pounds per day in this example. So our preconditioned calves' actual cell weight would be 558 pounds. They would gain about 67.5 pounds over that 500 pounds, but then shrink that 1.5% to 558 pounds. A good preconditioned program vaccine costs you about $15 a head. If you figure your feed cost in there at $1 per head per day and pasture at $25 an animal unit month, and these 500-pound calves would be 1/2 of an AUM. So if you don't agree with my costs in there at $15 a head or $1 a head per day, that's great. I'll show you a calculator that you can use to enter in your own costs that you would see on your ranch and decide for yourself if a preconditioned program makes sense for you. So let's get to the Wyoming Ranch Tools calculator, and we'll look at this example. So in this example, and this is the break-even budget calculator on the Wyoming Ranch Tools site. Again, I'll include the link to the Wyoming Ranch Tools site in the description of this video. So if we look at vet and medicine on 100 head of steers, that's $15 a head. Feed and supplement on 100 head of steers for 45 days, that's 4,500 head days at $1 a head per day, so that's $4,500. And then pasture, 4.5 months times the 100 head, divided by 2, or sorry, not 4.5 months, a month and a half, 45 days. So a month and a half times the 100 head gives us 150. Divide that by 2 because they're only 500 pounds, gives us 75 at $25 an AUM, price in there at $18.75. So that's the additional cost for doing this precondition program. You may have some additional costs that you need to figure on your own site. Please enter those in here to get an accurate number for you. In terms of our current sale, if we were selling those 500-pound calves, again, they'd shrink about 5%. So we'd be selling 475-pound calves. We sell 100 of them at $1.60. That's 76,000 days of interest. We're going to extend that out 45 days. So that's another $560 in interest that we give up. So then we go up here to this portion up here and we enter in the final weight. So we projected these calves to gain 67 pounds and be at 567 with a 1.5% shrink. That puts them in there at 558. Number of head 100. So our break-even price is $151.32. So if we can get $1.60 for balling calves, fresh weaned calves, we need to get $151.32 to break even on those preconditioned calves. So it definitely looks like there's some room in there. Definitely Looks like with this example, under these conditions, it looks like it'd be a good thing to consider preconditioning calves in order to make sure that it works on your ranch. Again, you need to enter your numbers in this calculator and let it do the work for you and make your own decision in terms of whether it makes sense for you or not. But definitely something worth looking at each year and considering. And certainly year to year in terms of changes in cost of feed and availability of pasture, that could change year over year. So take a look at that each year, and it might be an opportunity to make a little extra money on your operation. Well, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Remember to send in your questions for next week's videos. You can submit them in the comments below, or you can email them to me at bmfates@uwyo.edu. And again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Please consider liking and subscribing. Helps target these videos. And please consider sending in some questions. Again, I'll post the links to the Wyoming Ranch Tool site in the description. With that, I'm Bridger Fates, Livestock Marketing Specialist for University of Wyoming Extension. We'll see you next episode.